develop a network program, we need at least two machines. In one machine we'll run client, in another machine we'll run server, so that we can test whether we have developed the network program or not, whether the software will run successfully or not. So here, instead of using two machines, if you want to run client and server in a single system, on the time we will use loopback address. Loopback address is normally 127.0.0.0/8. So this is the classless notation. Suppose I want to use 127.0.0.1. So this is the loopback address. So loopback address means, suppose I am running two processes. That means this is the client and this is server. Clear? So I am running the client and server machine in a single system. It means when the client wants to connect it, on the time it will send data to the transport layer, then it will send it to the network layer. Instead of going the data to the data link and the physical layer, again it will reverse back. So it means you can see this is the loop. That's why this is called the loopback address. I am running client and server in a single system. Data is using the network system. So that's why this is the part of network programming. And we have also tested it in the network. If it runs here, that means it will run in the network also. So in this way, we can test our software, network-based software, whether it will run in the network or not. So that's why we use loopback address. Here, this is the network. The network ID is 215.230.210.x. So this is the class C address. So 24 bits for the network ID and the remaining part is the host ID. For example, this is a host. The ID is 215.230.210.10. Now suppose in this network I want to add a new computer. So what will be the IP address? DHCP server will assign the IP address. As soon as you will join this computer in the network, it will send a broadcast message to get the new IP address. Either you have to manually configure it, otherwise DHCP will provide the IP address. On that time, it will send a data packet. The source IP for that machine, it will be 0.0.0.0.0. The destination IP will be 255.255.255.255. So here you can see all 0 address as the source address, all 1's address as the destination address. All 0 address specifies this computer does not have any IP address. When this data packet will go to that DHCP server, it will understand this computer does not have the IP address. It will assign an IP address to that computer. And 255.255.255.255, this is called all 1's address. So this is also called limited broadcast address, because when you will use this all 1's address as a destination IP address, on the time data packets will reach to all the computers. But when the data packets will come here to the router, so that the data packets can go to the outside world, on the time the router will understand this is the limited broadcast IP address, so it will drop the packet here. So this packet does not go to the outside world. So that's why this is called the limited broadcast address. Suppose this is the network 1, this is the network 2. Here the network ID for this network is 215.230.210 and X is the host ID, because this is the class C address, 24-bit is the net ID and the remaining part is the host ID. So this is the class B address. So here 16-bit is the net ID, 16-bit is the host ID. So this 2 is the net ID. So here you can see, so it will be the 0 and it will be the 0. That is the net ID for this network, Now suppose this computer, the IP address is this, and this computer, the IP address is this. This computer wants to send a data packet to all the computers in this network. So what will be the destination IP address? So that will be the direct broadcast address, because it wants to send data packet to all the computers. So on the time, the source IP will be 215.230.210.10. The destination IP will be, this is for the other network, so for 141.12, and now the host part, it will be 255.255. So this is the direct broadcast address for this network. Now suppose this computer wants to send data packet to all the computers. So for the direct broadcast address for this network, it will be source IP address, because this computer wants to send data packet. So it will be 141.12.16.15, and the destination IP address, it will be, it wants to send data packet to these computers. So it will be 215.230.10.210. So this is the net ID, and the remaining part is the host ID. So here I will use 255. So direct broadcasting can be done by using this way. These are the addresses that are not recognized from the outside world. We can use these addresses in the local area network, in the sub-networking purpose. In the lab, you can see this type of addresses. In any organization, you will see this type of addresses for designing subnet or the network. Because to buy a IP address from the ISP service provider, so it is costly. But we want to share it among all the computers in the organization, inside the organization. On the time, for subnetting, we'll use these addresses.